With Roberto Ferrari. Now, yet again, it's Pierre Rolland time. 5.3 kilometers to go. Trust Europe car to light up this race as they've done all week, and trust Pierre Rolland to be the man to do it. I Am Cycling putting a man involved. That man for I Am Cycling looks to be young Sebastian Reichenbach. Astana joining them. Also with Vacan Soleil, and this is the time now that Omega Pharma Quick-Step realise that it's their job to shut this down and try to set things up for Gianni Meersman.
Well, the peloton has thinned out some, and it does appear as though a reduced bunch sprint will decide stage 3. That could be good news for Gianni Meersman, who's already won one stage at the Tour Romandie. We're back with more right after this. Welcome back. This is it, the final stretch of stage 3, day 4 at the Tour de Romandie. Can Gianni Meersman win a second stage at this year's race? We'll find out now on beIN Sport.
Ferrari's the number 114. Omega Pharma Quick-Step chasing. They've 4 bodies now at the front. Julien Velmotte to make sure he's in the right place. Any chance that Mallory's going to stay out here?
Well, he's given it a good go, Robbie, and full marks to him. He's had a go in the other stages, and he's doing what he does best, and trying to time trial his way in the last few kilometres. He is a former under-23 world champion at this type of discipline in the time trial, so he's trying to use all his strength to do that, and he is a big lad, big strong lad he is, and but I don't think he's going to hold off the might of Omega Pharma Quick-Step. It does look as if it's going to come to a bunch finish here in Payerne with about 80 riders in contention.
Inside 3 kilometres, and the Omega Pharma Quick-Step train is in full locomotive flow. Not for Mark Cavendish this time, but for Gianni Meersman. 4 men at the front, Meersman on the last wheel. And Adriano Malori is the sole man pedalling on to what would be quite a beautiful breakaway victory. It is, though, going to be so hard. Malori is looking to concentrate his own season around the World Championships in Florence this year. He wants that TT title, and you never know with the up and down World's road race course as well. It is going to be a very interesting time in September. He looks back and still has a few hundred metres. It's going to be so hard though, just 7 seconds now. And you get the feeling that even he will stop believing now. 2 kilometres to go. Mallory, the sole man out there. 4 riders for Omega Pharma Quick-Step out the front. Christophe van der Valle, Gianni Meersman, Tony Martin in there as well for them. Astana have possibilities, remember, Francesco Gavazzi. And there is Gavazzi, just on the wheel of Gianni Meersman. Moreno Moser could be a possibility. Cannondale, who are still looking to get something from this race. Now 1 right-hand turn, but it's all flat here into the finish. Just over 1 kilometre to go. No real obstacles this time. Should be simple, will be a sprint, but who will be there to contest it? They've got to catch Mallory though first, and he might just sort of believe again if he sees 1 kilometre to go. Certainly giving it the ride of his life here. The Omega Pharma Quick-Step need to put in that extra bit of work. There's the Flamme Rouge, and it's quite beautifully counted with those big inflatable several flames. it should all come back together. It will all come back together, and as we said, a sprint is on the cards. So tiring for Mallory here. The Mega Pharma Quick Step, the only team who've done all the work. Everybody else who wants to be involved just hanging on their coattails. Surely now this is Meersman's to lose. Moser is the best placed man for Cannondale. And it's going to be caught now. Mallory over with 400 metres to go. They approach the line. It's perfectly set up here for Gianni Meersman. Albazini's going to give it a go as well on the left-hand side. Albazini launches out this one. Meersman chasing. Gavazzi is there as well. There are opportunities for Argos with Medgets, who's been going well the last few days. Albazini going, but in the end it's Gianni Meersman who raises his hands, pipping the Swiss at the post. And a Mega Pharma Quick Step left it late, but in the end they will say they timed it just about perfectly. First, third, first again. Ryan Smith, it's not been a bad couple of days for Gianni Meersman. So fourth win of the season for Gianni Meersman, twice back-to-back in Catalonia. 2 out of 3 this week, and time to thank his team. He congratulated by his adversaries and say well done to all of those who helped to make it happen. Well, I know that even his own team have been surprised by how good he's been.
Yeah, just to see the sprint there, led out by Albazini on the left-hand side. 200 metres to do, trying to do what Navardavskas did yesterday, but Meersman was right on the way, unlike yesterday. Goes for it past Albazini, slight left-hand turn here. Gavazzi comes up very good. Just a wee bit of a check by Meersman, sees him coming up the inside, just drifts over enough to put him off. Second place for Gavazzi, and a very close sprint there for third place. But Meersman seems to do this in stage races in twos, and again, talking to Brian Holm this morning, his sports director, surprising a lot of people, even surprising winning these bunch kicks on the flat. Some sprinters can't go over climbs, but he's a rider that can go over these climbs and produce a very fast sprint when it comes to the finish, and he's proven it twice in Romandie so far.
So Gavazzi close once more. Unlucky Albazini. Great to see the courage shown by the Swiss rider. It's another man who's been very, very active in similar profiles, the likes of Catalonia, Basque Country, this sort of hilly race. More congratulations for the men who work for him, and the Belgian who made that move from Lotto to a Mega Pharma Quick Step. He's seeing the fruits of these teams' work. So confirmation of the order of arrival. Gianni Meersman again the winner for the second time in 3 days this week. Francesco Gavazzi, Michael Albazini just about pipped Luca Medgets, who's there or thereabouts again for fourth place, and Juanjo Labato, who picked up Euskaltel's first win of the season, was there as well. Weiss and Nocentini making up the top 7. Well, there he's telling him how he did it. Albazini not far away. It's a good job he was on the right wheel. Back to the last kilometre again. And at this point, Adriano Mallory was still out in front.
Yeah, he only had a slender advantage. Omega Pharma Quick still well in control here, and a very good lead out. It's obviously a depleted peloton. They have had to work hard for it, because over the last few kilometres no other team would come up towards the front. Interestingly enough, that Ferrari was in this group, and Mallory deciding to go on the attack, which pretty much says that the rider in the pink there, Ferrari, very good sprinter, maybe never felt in top form, and it just goes to show he just was distance in this sprint. But a good effort by Albazini. He was kind of blocked in on the left hand side. It opens up for him. He moves up, but almost with about 400 metres to go, just hoping that that gap in the left hand side will stay open. just waiting for it to go up, and makes his move just inside 300 metres to go, hits the front with about 200 to go, but he just didn't have the strength like Navardavskus had yesterday. Meersman, a great strong sprint there, just drifts over towards the right hand side to check Gavazzi, and just slightly there, just enough to put him off, but I don't think Gavazzi was going to get by him anyway. Another win for Meersman, and I'm pretty sure in the next stage races we're going to see him do this type of thing again.
So Gianni Meersman wins his second stage at the Tour de Romandie, his fourth on the season, just edging out Francesco Gavazzi, who's an excellent sprinter. We'll be back with the awards from the Stage 3, Day 4 of the Tour de Romandie on beIN Sport right after this. So Gianni Meersman has won 2 stages at this Tour de Romandie. He finished 3rd in the other. It's not been a bad 4 days for the Omega Pharma Quick Step rider, who wins for the second time in 3 days. The general classification staying much the same, though, at least atop the leaderboard. Chris Froome for Team Sky still setting the pace in first place. He will retain the yellow jersey. He was 6 seconds faster than American Andrew Talansky with Garmin Sharp. We now return to Switzerland for more from the race and the final awards.
So the story of the day on stage 3 of the 67th Tour de Romandie. Looking down at a very grey and rainy Payerne at the moment. Head up into the Maddits tomorrow, Queen stage. Let's certainly cross our fingers and hope, wherever you're watching with us in the world, join us in doing so, because we want to see the Col de la Croix. On paper, on the photographs, looks like an absolutely stunningly designed stage. Be nice to see it brought out and played out. Gianni Meersman then, first ahead of Francesco Gavazzi, Michael Albazini third, Medgetz, Lobato, Vis, Nocentini, Ferrari, Van Rensburg and Xavi Florencio, the top men. That was as far as the day's concerned. We'll get a good look at the overall as well, and all the classifications and jerseys for you as the presentation takes place. Been promised by the organisers that they would be a little quicker this year. Hasn't yet come to fruition, and I know they've had a telling off from the television companies already this week. Let's see how they get on with getting everybody up to the podium. There's Gianni Meersman. This was his sprint. Again, Michael Albazini on the right-hand side, wearing the colours of the Australian team, Orica Green Edge. Lobato involved, the man raising his arms, is standing there behind the podium and is almost ready to tell us exactly how he won this third stage.